the reins and harness it out to the meadowland. Come on, let's go. The winners play and adrenaline flows. It's all about being here. It's what your soul understands. It's all about being here. The meadowland.
Now that summer's here, things are really heating up at Meadowlands Racetrack. Memorial Day weekend kicks off our championship meet, which means the biggest races, including the Meadowlands Pace and the Hambletonian. Great concerts, our best giveaways, family activities, and our most lavish wine events. Come Monday, Memorial Day, and go home with a portable sports seat while supplies last. Gates open 11 a.m. First race 1:10 p.m. Summer goes by fast, so put us on your calendar now. Meadowlands Racetrack. It's all about being here.
It's all about being here. The Meadowlands.
Everybody, this is Sid Rosenberg.
This is Joe Beningo.
Yesterday, we had a chance to talk to Brian Bosworth and Michael Irvin from The Longest Yard.
I had to go to the director and specifically request a chance to have a shot at Michael. I'm sorry, let's talk about the movie again.
And today, we'll talk to Burt Reynolds from The Longest Yard. Also, the Mets still involved with the big series against the Atlanta Braves, and the Yankees open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at the stadium.
It's Sid and Joe, weekdays, 10 to 1 on The Fan, right after Imus in the morning and right before Mike and the Mad Dog.
On Sports Radio 66, WFAN in New York.
1-800.
Delivery by May 31st. No security deposit required. More than 5 available at this price.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. 'Cause I speak of the pompatus of love. People talk about me, baby. Say I'm doing you wrong, doing you wrong. Well, don't you worry, baby, don't worry. 'Cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight joker. I sure don't want to hurt no one. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun.
Imus in the morning.
Copyright 2005. Infinity Broadcasting, all rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment.
Listen every hour from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. today and tomorrow for your chance to win tickets to see the Yankees and Red Sox this weekend at Yankee Stadium. It's all from your flagship station for Imus in the morning and Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. This is John Minko, a big 9 for Alex Rodriguez.
When he broke down, the whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Snap back to reality. Up, no, daddy. Up, no, rabbit. He's going at it. Up, no, daddy. As we move toward a new world order, a normal life is boring. But superstardom, close to postmortem. It only grows harder. Homie grows hotter. He blows. It's all over. These hoes is all on him. Coast to coast shows. He's known as the Globetrotter. Lonely Rose God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, 'cause here goes the cold water. These hoes don't want him no more. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and flows nada. So's a soap opera. He's told it unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go.
Imus in the morning.
Yeah, I like Eminem, Louie. Come on. Hey, listen up. Nothing captures life's colors like the new technology of Panasonic's high-definition plasma TV.
He's inbound on the George Washington Bridge, 20 at the Lincoln Tunnel, 10 at the Holland Tunnel. The Imus in the morning forecast, clouds, sun, maybe a shower, high in the upper 70s. 56 and sunny in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
20 minutes after the hour here in the Imus morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Wyatt and his mother last night were making cupcakes because they're having a little going-away party for Wyatt at his school today because he leaves early to go to ranch. And I have some sort of bad news for them.
What?
Well, because I got up around 3 o'clock this morning and Earl is yummy cupcakes out in the kitchen. And,
oh, man.
Well, some of the little boys and girls are not going to have cupcakes today. Well, that's just the way it goes. So.
Great.
Anyway, it's time for sports now, sponsored by Panasonic. Go to Panasonic.com, get one of those Panasonic plasma TVs, get that HD TV thing going on for you. Chris Carlin's off, and Roberto Clemente Jr. is in. Good morning, Roberto.
Good morning, Imus. Well, you know, the Americans have been ousted in Paris. Vince Padilla, Jeff Morrison, Kevin Kim, Bobby Ginepri, Marty Fish, James Blake, Hugo Armand, Andre Agassi, and now Andy Roddick are out from the French Open. NHL next week will be meeting again and resume negotiations.
We hate hockey, Roberto.
I understand, but they're tennis. Well, they're coming out.
Hockey. We hate hockey players and tennis players.
We hate people who bring it up.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, they resume negotiations next week, and they're trying to get everything out there. Eric Anduri, age 30, was charged with misdemeanor battery, according to the Alameda County District Attorney, for spilling a beer on Mr. Jason Giambi. He faces 6 months or $2,000 fine for a very expensive beer.
Yeah, poor old Jason not getting it done. Maybe he needs to go see Alex Rodriguez' shrink, right?
Probably, yeah.
Rodriguez hit another home run last night. Won the game. How about that, Bernie?
Well, you know what? Maybe the Mets should start taking Prozac.
Well, whatever. So, anything else going on, Roberto?
Well, no, like I said, Jose Reyes last night came out of, and Mike Cameron drove in 3 runs each, and the Mets opened a 4-game set against the Marlins, winning 12-4, and obviously everybody waiting for the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium tonight.
All right, Roberto, thank you. It's 23 minutes after the hour. Please welcome now to the Imus Morning program officially, the great Brian Wilson. Good morning, Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian Wilson. How are you? I'm fine.
I didn't have your mic on, Brian.
Hi, Wolfman.
But you wouldn't even know that, would you?
What?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm Brian Wilson.
I know that.
Hi, Mr. Quivers.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Wolfman.
Yeah?
I heard you have to go away for the summer, which is what they used to say when I used to have to go away for a couple of months.
Yeah.
I heard you were still doing the program, though, and I said good, because I hate to see you fall off it now.
Yeah.
Then I realized it wasn't that kind of program where you get a coin when you leave,
Right.
like Sid.
Yeah.
But the radio program where you don't get anything when you leave except get out,
Yeah.
like Sid.
Yeah.
They said you were going out to the ranch, which I thought meant like going out to pasture or buying the farm.
Yeah.
Then I realized it couldn't be that, because if you bought the farm, there would be a really big party. I don't think it matters that you're not actually going to be here, Wolfman, because even when you're here, you're not really here.
Really?
People say I lack focus. Well, I'm a magnifying glass compared to you, Wolfman. I know my attention span's not what it used to be, but next to yours, I'm like Stephen Hawking. Although you do sound more like him than I do. I mean, I did a lot of drugs and alcohol in my day, but at least I can keep my gum in my mouth. You're so out of it sometimes, it's like you're not even listening to your own show. Which I guess is just your way of identifying with your audience. Which you could do much better if you just had more of those real-life experiences. Like, you know, go to Carl's Jr. for a burger and a car wash from that hot chick.
Yeah.
You know, Wolfman, I've been at Carl's Jr. a million times.
Sure, it looks like it.
The chicks that work there don't look anything like that.
Right.
They're usually fat little Mexicans with mustaches. Although they did wash my car.
Oh, yeah.
You know, come and think of it,
It's probably because it was actually a car wash and not a Carl's Jr.
Sure.
I wonder why I didn't get a hamburger. But you're right about Cowboy Troy, Wolfman. Speaking of car washes,
Yeah?
he's gonna be huge.
Yes.
I don't know why everybody doesn't think hip-hop and country work together, because they're like the same thing. Cowboys wear resistors, rappers wear Kangols.
Yeah.
Cowboys have britches, and rappers have bitches.
Yeah.
Cowboys like posses, and rappers do too. I never played chicken with a train, but I did play train with a chicken once after a four-way hit of Owsley acid. It wasn't all that fun because, like, he wouldn't let me blow the whistle. And he kept saying, don't eat me, don't eat me. But I did.
Yeah.
I'm Brian Wilson. How are you? I'm fine.
26 after the hour.
Like the Judah man once told me, you got to pay your hand sometimes because it's worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been. Imus in the morning.
So how was your wife's big surprise?
The Southbound Garden State Parkway at exit 172 in Montvale. Inbound George Washington Bridge, truck accident cleared on the upper level, 30 minutes at the Lincoln, okay at the Holland. I miss the morning forecast, clouds and sun, maybe a shower, high in the upper 70s. 58 and sunny in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fit Highway Patrol.
It is about 6 minutes till the hour here at the Imus Morning Program on the radio around the country and on the MSNBC. I was just talking to Brian Wilson. We actually sent money to Opie and Anthony's, to Opie's brother, to get an Opie and Anthony T-shirt. And how long ago we send the money?
A couple of weeks ago.
And we still don't have the T-shirt.
Well, I'm sure it's shipping and handling. You know, it takes a while.
How much was the T-shirt?
$350 to pay.
Please welcome somebody who knows something about T-shirts. My brother from Tucson, Arizona, sponsored by a Tri-State Jeep dealer. Good morning, friend.
Hey, man, what's happening with IMAS?
Well,
That's a good thing you're doing there this morning.
what's that?
Letting that guy from the guest worker program do the sports.
What? Like a guy from what?
The guest worker program, you know, they're trying to start letting workers come over from Mexico and stuff.
No. No.
That's not where he's from?
No, Fred.
There's a border patrol by the door.
You know, it's just a butt. You know, you can't even make up how stupid you are.
Hey, you might want to have somebody check and see if his feet are wet.
You know, just get off like you just go. God, go away.
R-E-S-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-E-C-T, think of T-C-T. Imus in the morning.
Power in reserve is potential.
My person, I recognize that Randall, who's actually an English professor at the University of Mexico, and Dave and Dean and all of them, the crew there at who supervise the broadcast from the ranch. I'm prepared now to walk in there Tuesday morning and have nothing work.
Well, I tell you, you have grown.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's just smart.
Yeah.
Then there are no surprises.
Right. So
Low expectation.
right, I may be able to talk with you and may not be. But
And then if things do work,
Right.
then you can be ebullient over the situation.
a billion's not going to be something I'm going to be about anything.
That's probably was a little bit over the
Yeah.
top. You're right.
However, it'll take him most of that morning, Tuesday morning, to get things straightened out. Or it will work.
Right.
Whatever. So.
But that's a very mature approach to a possible catastrophe, I mean.
Because we're broadcast from the MSNBC studios, and everything works here, and if it doesn't work, they fix it immediately.
Yes.
And they seem to be capable of doing that.
And they jump right on it. You're absolutely right. And straighten it out pretty darn fast.
Yeah. And it's not that Randall and Dean and Dave and all of them don't try. It's just that...
not an unwillingness on their part, no.
No.
Okay.
They are just not a swift bunch.
They're just dumb.
Well, it's not their profession.
No.
It's not their main occupation.
No, they're involved in other... They have other issues they have to deal with.
Okay.
Plus, they're big Stern fans.
Yes. that would be another issue. All right, here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man. Senate won't hold a confirmation vote on John Bolton's nomination to the UN until at least next month. Let's see, they come back on June 7th from their Memorial Day break. Yesterday, Democrats demanded more information from the Bush administration about Bolton's background, and when they didn't get it, they delayed the vote. Democrat Joe Biden says the Democrats at this point are simply frustrated.
Give us requested information that we're entitled to in assessing whether or not Mr. Bolton should go to the UN.
Joe,
calm down.
Assessing.
Losing the plugs.
Holy cow.
I love Biden, but man, he's got to relax, doesn't he?
Have a couple of beers over the weekend and come back with a different perspective.
Yeah, and assessing.
Oh, man. And then old George Voinovich is urging fellow Republicans to vote against Mr. Bolton.
That boy freaked out on us.
He's gone over the edge, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Senator Rick Santorum says, despite all of this junk, Bolton's going to get confirmed.
Mr. Bolton will pass with a solid vote. It'll be probably in the mid-50s, I would think. If you look at the past, that's what he's been able to get that kind of.
That's your not infrequent guest and actually a friend.
And maybe
Senator
the next
Santorum.
president of the United States.
Exactly.
Oh, he'll be the next president of the United States when Sid is.
Could very well happen.
He's not going to be the next president of anything.
That's what they said about Ronald Reagan.
Sid's going to be president of the United States?
No, he's not.
I voted for him.
Well, I'm sure you did.
God. A couple of things that we have not talked about this morning. The latest on the Michael Jackson case.
Oh, what's up?
We are not going to be, nor will the jury, seeing Jackson's Johnson, so to speak. The judge in the Michael Jackson molestation trial sparing jurors from seeing a graphic piece of evidence by barring the prosecution from showing photographs of Mr. Jackson's genitalia.
Who took the photographs?
The attempt to admit the genitalia photographs stems from a 1993 molestation investigation of Jackson. When prosecutors were trying to gather evidence against him back then, they served a subpoena at his home that allowed them to photograph Mr. Jackson's genitalia.
I mean, that's,
Shouldn't it be a subpoena?
It probably should. They then had the accuser at the time.
Oh, man, you can't get yourself in a position in your life where you have to submit to somebody taking photographs of your wiener.
They had the...
I don't care who you are.
Well, check this. They had the accuser then draw a picture of what he believed the genitalia looked like.
Yeah.
Prosecutors claimed the picture contained a certain distinguishing characteristic that was unique to Mr. Jackson's anatomy. Arguing
it was black.
No, it contained a blemish of some kind.
Oh, I see.
Arguing for use of the pictures, the senior deputy district attorney said the prosecutor wanted to show jurors that a child's description of this unique feature of Jackson's anatomy would show that Jackson's relationships with boys were, quote, not casual.
Oh, yeah. Well, what was the characteristic?
It's a tattoo of his monkey. It's beautiful. It's not about sex.
Do we know?
I don't know. Could be something associated with the skin condition he has, or whatever.
Macaulay Culkin's teeth marks on it.
No.
Or Tito's.
But that was the boy in the 93 investigation. He and his family received the multi-million-dollar settlement from Jackson, and no charges were filed as a result of that, but we're not going to have that. The genitalia photographs will not be allowed in.
Yeah, but they're somewhere, right?
Oh, sure, of course. They were made, yeah, absolutely.
Why can't we get them on the Insider or something? Access Hollywood.
They may be sitting on some website right now. We don't know.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. You just, you don't want to get yourself in, like Pat O'Brien, the situation he got himself in.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting there on TV listening to this telephone call phone message that you left.
Oh, my God.
Having Dr. Phil play it back to you, as John Stewart observed. And you...
in front of a nationwide audience.
Maybe you don't need that.
No, you don't.
But to go through your life to try to preclude those kinds of situations.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
You mean to tell me
Yes.
that you've never taken a picture of your own penis? As screwed up as you were in the 70s on alcohol and cocaine,
Right.
and as into camera equipment as you are,
Right.
you didn't get that big old telephoto lens and take a
No.
picture of your Petey?
No, I did not.
I don't believe that.
Well, I'm just telling you.
I just don't believe it. You are delusional.
Well,
They are out there somewhere. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
well, no, we're not going to get to the bottom.
We're going to find them
Yeah.
and blow them some bitches up and get some wallets and 8x10s and
Right, put some gravy on them.
and put some gravy on that some bitch.
It is coming up on 13 minutes after the hour.
McCord's teeth marks on that.
Oh, that's not... Now, where
What
does
is
that
going
come
through
from?
your mind?
Yeah, where does that...
Bernard, when you say things like that, you have issues that go so deep, so deep. Was there some homosexual incident in your past?
Several, actually.
See that? I understand it now.
What do you suppose possesses my brother to, and I mean,
I don't know.
man, there's something is missing there. There's some, there are some brain cells that just didn't get passed out.
Slightly.
Right. Somewhere.
Came up short.
That's troubling.
Yeah.
Anything else, Charles?
Continuing in the same vein or similar vein, federal health investigators are looking into reports that some men who use Viagra may have suffered a new and serious side effect, blindness. 23 million men worldwide have used Viagra, and a very small number of them have gone blind, apparently, after taking normal dosages.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
It's actually a beneficial side effect, because if you have to take Viagra to hose the pig you're married to,
What
then it's all working out. It's all working out just beautifully.
Boy, you play with yourself, you go blind. If you take Viagra, you go blind. Who knew those two things were connected? They seem so far apart.
Well, yes, I guess they...
I mean, you can go blind if, you...
What? You all right?
Can you do it until you need glasses?
Yeah, well, I guess you can, sure. What a zoo. Starts with sports with Roberto, Clemente Jr. and Tracy coming up. Warren Zevon now.
Hurry home early, hurry on home. Boom, boom, Macy's fighting Bobby Chacon. Hurry home early, hurry on home. Boom, boom, Macy's fighting Bobby Chacon. From Youngstown, Ohio, they boom, boom, Macy's. A lightweight contender, like father, like son. He fought for the title with Rios in Vegas, and he put him away in round number 1. So hurry home early, hurry on home. Boom, boom, Macy's fighting Bobby Chacon. Hurry home early, hurry on home.
This Friday night, you have a date at CompUSA's Midnight Madness. Every hour from 6 p.m. to midnight.
57 degrees and sunny in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
Well, it's about 21 minutes after the hour here in the Imus This Morning program on the radio around the country on MSNBC. I just got a book from Bigfoot from John Harris, who's a national correspondent for the Washington Post, entitled The Survivor, from Random House, Bill Clinton in the White House, that I'm actually going to read. Because there is a scene on page 356 where Bill Clinton, this is according to John Harris, the Washington Post, talking about how much he hates Sally Quinn and proposes to give a Medal of Freedom to her husband, Washington Post editor Ben Bradley, because, and this is a quote from Bill Clinton, anybody who slates for that bitch deserves a medal.
And that coming from Mr. Hillary Clinton.
Really?
Oh, well, so we'll have old Harris on sometime next week with his book. Right now. All right, please welcome now to the Imus in the Morning program. Roberto Clemente Jr. has been doing sports because Carlin's off somewhere. And also in the studio, Michelle Salvatore, who has a show on the Yes, or is part of a show on the Yes Television Network that will be on when, Michelle?
Well, the next one, I think it aired this morning again, and there's a replay of it tomorrow at 11:30 on the Yes Network. And then the new show premieres on Sunday at noon again.
At noon?
Yep.
Okay. And your role in it is to do what?
I'm a segment host. I host the Yankee Legend part, and I'm doing Lou Gehrig's.
Who do you host?
No, I'm hosting.
Oh, not hosing. Oh, okay.
It's the Yankee Legend.
I saw you on the other show. I thought you were cute.
Thank you.
I thought you were pretty good.
I had a really great time with it. So
You were way overdressed.
I was we don't have to dance around naked. It's a kids
No,
show.
but there's a happy medium there somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well.
I would like to introduce you to Roberto Clemente Jr. Roberto, please say hi to Michelle Salvatore. Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm fine, Roberto. How are you?
Doing great.
Oh, good.
Roberto.
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Oh, you're not married?
No, I'm not. Uh-oh.
No, but you have
I
been
did not.
married.
I'm divorced.
That is never. Well, sorry.
Oh, watch where you're going there.
The fact that he has been married.
Yeah.
What relevance does that have? He's not married now.
Well, how many times have you been married?
3 times.
How many times?
Well, 2.5. The one doesn't count.
What do you mean one doesn't count?
What is Roberto?
Yeah.
Was he a midget? 2.5 times?
Well, one of them was a non. It only lasted like 9.5 months, so.
All right. That was the first one?
That was the first one, actually.
Okay.
You
And
can't
then
even keep them straight.
Michelle, he may be a little nervous. Let me talk to Mr. Clemente. Okay, Roberto, what happened with the second one?
Second one, 6.5 years, actually. 2 beautiful daughters.
Okay, what happened there?
Well, it didn't work out. After 6.5 years, it was time to go. We usually not get along after that.
Okay, were you fooling around, or was she?
Well, no, it was a lot of traveling. I was traveling a lot, and she didn't like it at all, so.
Okay, and now we have a third one.
Yeah, that was all over the papers and ESPN, and she was my middle school sweetheart. And she went to witness protection program. They took her away from me, from Puerto Rico, and we met again at Yankee Stadium after 16 years, and, I thought it was the same person, and she was not. She became a con artist.
Wait a minute. She was in the witness protection program?
Right.
Well, why?
For what?
Well, her stepfather was murdered, and her mother was a key witness for the prosecution. And it was a whole ring of bad cops that were killing people for money, and there was a whole story about it. But
CSI San Juan.
She was. They took them all away from Puerto Rico, and she could not write to me or call me. So 16 years later, she saw me at Yankee Stadium when I used to broadcast for the Yankees, and we got together. So I thought it was the same person. Obviously, it was like. I was still with the same feelings, and I was completely wrong.
The witness protection program's not working pretty good. They're putting her at Yankee Stadium. I mean, how open can you get? And 50,000 people watching you. Not really all that protected, is it?
Well, see, her mom already died. She died like a few months prior to that, so.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Damn. Well, boy, you got a life that will make a movie here.
I know. Got a couple books.
Okay.
Country song.
Well, you're a nice-looking young man. I'm not. I can say that in full confidence, my own, masculinity. But
Thank you.
Don't you think he's kind of cute, Michelle?
He's very attractive.
Okay, so what would be wrong with Michelle? Michelle's actually pretty good.
Let's not go there.
And by the way, Roberto, whether you know this or not, Michelle knows her way around.
My way around what?
The infield.
The infield. Oh, actually, the outfield. So.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah. So, well, okay. Anyway, what's going on in Sports Lounge in here?
Jose Reyes tripled twice and drove in 3 runs at the New York Mets ended a 4-game losing streak, 12-4 at Florida.
Rangers leads the majors with 7 3-baggers, and despite hitting just one prior to May 16th, he's trying to get those guys online. The numbers keep on piling up for Alex Rodriguez, who hit his 17th home run last night.
Won the game.
Yes, 4-3 over the Detroit Tigers. 2-run shot gave him 49 RBIs, who also tops the majors, and 398 home runs of his career. Tyndall Murphy for 42nd and placed on the all-time list. And he's also 1 homer to tie Al Kaline and Andres Galarraga with 399 in 40th place. He also will become the 40th player to reach 400 home runs in Major League Baseball.
And huge series tonight. Randy Johnson goes against Tim Wakefield.
Wakefield tomorrow, Carl Pavano against Matt Clemente. And on Sunday, Mike Mussina against David Wells. Kurt Schilling is out possibly onto the All-Star break.
Right. Well, Roberto, thank you very much for coming in and do this. You seem like a nice young man.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I hope things worked out with Michelle.
Don't be like Chocha.
Roberto Clemente Jr. and Michelle Salvatore here on the Latin connection of the Armstrong program. Job.
Of United Technologies do their share.
Well, 33 minutes past the hour here in the Imus morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC sometimes, Monday through whatever it is, whenever we're on. So
all you have to do is make sure that the microphone is on and your headphones are in.
Right.
That's your sole responsibility for your job.
How much dead air do we have, Lou?
Since 6 o'clock this morning.
No, that's it. Do we have any new material, Dr. Phil?
No. Why don't we go down that road? I don't know. I haven't heard any old Wolfman Jack tapes. Maybe I could pick up a few lines from there. Sounds like the blues everybody say baby. I mean...
No, that's not Wolfman Jack.
You repeat yourself in normal conversation, let alone your jokes. Do you have any idea? Is there anything going on up there in that attic of yours?
Yes.
You call a brain?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, Scarecrow, I'm going to miss you most of all. You know what I mean?
Is that funny, Lou?
No, I was looking at something else.
Okay.
Lou, I believe we're going to be talking to the Pope about getting you canonized, working with this leper colony called the Imus in the Morning program.
Boy, and that's the truth.
Leper colony.
The opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange is sponsored by Lebenthal Stocks for Bond Buyers, Bonds for Stock Buyers, and by North Fork Bank. Check them out online at nfb.com. The market has been open almost 5 minutes, and we don't know what it's doing. So
Dow's down 5, NASDAQ down about 3.
Oh, my God, that is horrible.
Very exciting.
So, well, next time I talk to you, I'll be talking to you from the ranch, where I will be for the entire summer until after September 1st.
Dear God.
Sometime. With children with cancer and with some SIDS kids. And we have some kids coming even from Italy, which will be interesting because...
Just so you know, Stu Nod doesn't mean we respect you.
What does it mean?
It means stupid.
Oh, it does.
Donut spelled backwards.
Oh.
Stupid.
Right.
That's you.
No, I won't.
That's you. These Italian kids going to come over, giving you the double finger thing.
Yeah.
That's not the peace sign, okay? That means you should go to hell and stay there.
Well, no, I can't. I don't anticipate they'd have that reaction.
Also, my bafangu
Yeah.
ain't melted cheese, all right?
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Right.
I want you to prepare yourself.
Okay, Charles has a President Bush story, right, Charles? Where he screws up something? Well, Charles doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No, I do not know what
Charles does not have the story. So he claims he doesn't have it.
No.
And if he doesn't, if he
Well,
claims
we have the cut.
Yeah, but Charles doesn't have the story.
Okay. So I see it in the script.
I see it in the script. Way down.
Okay, here's Chuck now.
President has pledged $50 million in U.S. aid to the Palestinians, man.
Okay.
Made the announcement as he met with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas at the White House and said that while he is a supporter of Israel as well, there's got to be peace in the Middle East.
A viable two-state solution must ensure contiguity of the West Bank, and a state of scattered territories will not work.
Holy God.
Contiguity.
You got to keep it smooth.
Well, what did he mean? Continuity?
Continuity. Yeah.
Well. Well, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it seems like that.
Oh, no, he's just the head of the free world as we know it.
Well, he mispronounced the word. I mean,
mispronounced the word. It ain't even a word. Contiguity. I mean, what the hell is contiguity?
I don't know.
Maybe it was a combination of contiguous and continuity, and it just came out contiguity.
And maybe he just had a brain fart, and that's not a man I want with his finger on the button, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, he's got it on the button. He's going to be there for another 3.5 years, so deal with it.
Contiguity. I am stupefied.
Well,
I'll tell you what, you need some contiguity on this program is what you need.
I'm not aware of that. So. Anyway, well, Dr. Phil will be back officially on Tuesday.
Great.
On the Imus program. And then...
President of the United States of America, the world is looking at us. All eyes are on America.
Right.
Yeah.
And this numbnuts is up there saying contiguity. You can't make that up.
No, you probably can't.
It's hard work.
Yeah, it is hard.
Real hard work. Look at the teleprompter. Just read the damn words.
What else going on, Charles?
Well, the Bolton thing that they put off until they come back on June the 7th. There were 20 people killed and dozens wounded in a suicide bombing in Pakistan at a Muslim shrine today. Then the story on the front pages of the papers about they did confirm that there have been 5 cases of what can broadly be described as mishandling of the Quran at Guantanamo Bay, but nobody flushing nothing down no toilet.
Right.
And in Iraq, 2 U.S. soldiers dead near Bakuba. Their helicopter was brought down by small arms fire.
Trying to flush something down a toilet. How about one of Dr. Phil's hideous books?
I don't think we need to go down that road, do we? Well, I have 97 books that have been on the bestseller list.
Yeah.
And not one of them have a man putting his penis in a window and slamming it shut, I'll tell you that. About time for a sequel to that book, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Reverend Billy Soul Hargis, God's other son.
Yeah.
God's other son. I can see it now.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, no photographs of Michael Jackson's genitalia from an earlier case will be permitted in the current case.
That would be a subject you would be familiar with, Dr. Phil. Not
what? Taking photographs of my penis?
No, but I mean how a person winds up and gets their life in a situation where they are required to submit to someone taking photographs of their wiener.
I don't know why we're talking about it. I mean, I don't understand why everyone is so amazed by what's going on. Here you have a 40-some-odd-year-old man with an amusement park in his backyard, keeps a monkey in the house, the Elephant Man's bones. All of a sudden, we think it's crazy behavior for him to have pictures of his penis. I mean, doesn't it kind of fit along with the profile, if you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, what I mean is...
Speaking of your contiguity.
Yeah.
Exactly, Bernard.
No, what I'm saying is there's a lesson there for all of us, I think, that you want to try to live your life so that you don't wind up at a point where, like Pat O'Brien, where you're sitting on television with you and you're playing a phone message that is, at the very least, whatever the circumstances under which they were recorded, it's humiliatingly embarrassing. And you don't want to also get yourself in a position where the sheriff comes over with the Kodak and is taking pictures of your wiener. So one would hope with Fujifilm so you could get better color reproduction with Fujifilm, because that's Velvia.
So what's your point?
Well, my point is, what advice would you have to live your life so that doesn't happen to you?
Keep your hands off little kids. Starting with, get the monkey out the house and shut down, Disney World in your backyard.
Right.
I mean, seek counseling, join a church group.
Sure.
Get a hobby. Make airplanes, something. Right. Snip some glue, get high, and let the world spin around you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Stop spanking the monkeys with the little kids is what you need to start doing.
Speaking of O'Brien, how's he doing?
I'm supervising Pat O'Brien's recovery.
Oh, sure.
And the way it's going so far, about middle of June, you can expect another series of phone messages up on the internet. Yeah, I think we got another special coming up. That's going to hit about Sweeps Week there in the fall.
Sure.
So we're gearing up for that right now.
All right.
Wish him all the best, but hope he slips, basically, because that there was ratings gold. Ratings gold.
18 minutes down till they are.
A viable two-state solution must ensure contiguity of the West Bank, and a state of scattered territories will not work.
Oh, my God. Well, it happens every day here at MSNBC. One of these morons trying to read a teleprompter, or at Fox or CNN or anyplace else. Just sound high.
What there was left of us was all covered in dust and pigskin.
Alexandra Lebenthal of Lebenthal with our...
I don't know him.
Okay, Dr. Phil, say hi to Bud Collins.
Hello, Bud.
Doctor, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I was just telling you we've got confluidity here. All the champagne is flowing, and we're in Paris, and it's pretty good. And we've got these two wonderful 18-year-old kids on the court right now, Rafael Nadal from Spain and Richard Gasquet from France. And everybody's
back up there just a second, Bud.
Pardon?
But I'd be careful about these two nice young 18-year-olds you're getting all sweaty about.
Well, okay.
Getting all damp. I mean, but Bud, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking when you get up in the morning and you pick them clown shirts and pants? You think, hey, I got a good idea. Let me look like Bobo and trot around the world following a bunch of lesbians smacking some fuzzy balls across the court.
You've discovered my secret, Doctor. I don't think anybody can keep stuff from you.
I don't think you can keep it from anyone else there, Bud. You have issues that go far deeper than I think even you realize. What you need to come out of that closet. I'm sorry?
I say I'm glad
Don't talk when I'm talking, Bud. You need to come out of that closet where you keep all them funny shirts and pants and just own up to where you're going down a road here where there is no love, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not just talking about tennis love. I'm talking about real physical man love. A racket have I gotten myself in with this tennis deal?
It's too late to get out, Doc.
Hey, Bud, we have no Americans left. I don't know what that means.
No, we got American women. We've got Venus Williams is going to play later today. Lindsay Davenport came through into the fourth round, and Marisa Irvin, a young California kid. But the prospects don't look too good there either.
Where's Capriati this year?
She's still recovering from shoulder surgery. I hope she'll be at Wimbledon.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't had her around for, almost a year.
And what happened? No, Andy Roddick and those guys that just don't play well on clay, or what?
They just don't play well on clay. It's hard to understand. And he had a 2-set lead yesterday over Acasuso, an Argentine, and it just fell apart for him. Same for James Blake against the young Swiss. So we've got to have more clay in the United States and play on it more, I guess. But we've got sort of the curse of Roland Garros, not quite like the curse of the Bambino that we got over in Boston, but it's a curse.
Who's doing the commentary tomorrow on NBC?
Well, it's Ted Robinson and John McEnroe and myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to be on Saturday and Sunday, and then the following weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Everything else all right with you?
Everything's great.
How do you feel?
Feel terrific.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's Anita doing?
Anita is right here, and she's doing very well. She's sending some photographs to my website right now, budcollinstennis.com. And she's, unfortunately, we're not home because she's a wonderful cook, so we have to eat the food in the restaurants. But that's not too bad.
It is always nice to hear from you. Thanks very much.
Great to talk to you, and tell the doctor I'm greatly enlightened by his analysis of me.
Sure.
Bud, it's meant with love.
I know it is, doctor. And when you and I get together, we can make love.
Bud Collins here on the morning program, live from
hold on here. Dude, I think I'm going to throw up. Did he just make a pass at me?
Well, I don't know.
Did Bud Collins just hit on me?
I'm not sure, Dr. Phil.
I am stupefied.
All right, well, have a nice Memorial Day weekend, all of you. It's a fairly serious holiday, but I'll see you in the ranch on Tuesday.
Big surprise. Fantastic. She was so
Their tails off this past week against the Florida Marlins. For what Clavin did on Sunday, I'm sorry. It was unacceptable. Thanks to Sweeney Murray, thanks to Buster Olney, thanks to Kevin Kennedy, thanks to Bob Husler, thanks to John Minko, thanks to Mark Malusis, thanks to Doug Kramer. This was a blast. Joe and Sid are next, coming up at 2. I'll talk to you on the weekend. Stay tuned for Joe and Sid.
Sports Radio.
Listen to Imus in the morning, Rosenberg and Beningo from 10 to 1, Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon, and Steve Summers at night. We're New York sports all day, every day. Here on your flagship station for Mets baseball, The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity broadcasting station.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon. At 2 o'clock, I'm Bob. Good Monday afternoon to you. It's actually the midday show. Joe Beningo and Sid Rosenberg on a Memorial Day, filling in for Mike and the Mad Dog. 718-937-6666 is the phone number. Carrying you right through till 6 o'clock when Andy Gresh will come your way. John Chocolate Schmelk, Easy Ed Erickson on the other side of the glass. And, you know, got to give some props to my good buddy, my partner, Mr. Rosenberg here, who during the entire run that the Yankees had where they were beating up on Oakland.
Morning, Mikey.
So I'm in the shower this morning. So you got to listen to this.
All right.
And the shower ends. And I'm looking for a towel. And I can't find the towel. So I have to get out of the shower, and the floor gets soaking wet. How funny is that?
You know. Let's pile on.
That ain't right.
That is not right, Breen.
I'm bent over laughing. It doesn't get any better than that, huh?
Mike Breen on his way out to do the Phoenix game. When is the next Phoenix game, Breen?
He hung up.
This conversation's over.
You had nothing after that.
And he's smart enough to get off. That's why Breen was great. So he was smart enough to hang up. Anyway, 9 minutes after the hour. What else going on, Charles?
President Bush remembered American veterans yesterday on Memorial Day at Arlington after laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns. Mr. Bush said that even though the names of those buried there are unknown, their courage and sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Americans will still come to visit, to pay tribute to the many who gave their lives for freedom, who liberated the oppressed, and who left the world a safer and better place. Today we pray that they have found peace with their Creator, and we resolve that their sacrifice will always be remembered by a grateful nation.
Mr. Bush said all the white headstones spread across Arlington demonstrate the scale of the sacrifice American troops have made. And then there are the comments from Vice President Cheney saying he is offended by Amnesty International contentions that the United States prison camp at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, is, quote, the gulag of our times. Amnesty International made the allegation last week, but last night, on Larry King Live, Cheney asserted that he doesn't take Amnesty International and its report seriously.
Remember who's down there? These are people that we picked up off the battlefield in Afghanistan and other places in the global war on terror. These are individuals who have been actively involved
Hey, wait a minute. What happened to the Vice President?
I'm just tired of hearing him drone on. I like him, but enough.
He said he thinks the insurgency in Iraq is winding down. And Now, wait a minute. He's not through. And he believes military action in Iraq will end before he and President Bush leave office.
It's 10 minutes after the hour here in the Imus the Morning program. Man, that's just delusional.
Sounds like Baghdad Bob.
Our version of Baghdad Bob, man. Nobody's there for it. The Imus the Morning Business Report is sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange. Somebody will ring the opening bell this morning, and somebody will ring the closing bell, but I don't know who will. It doesn't make any difference. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
The market was closed yesterday for Memorial Day on Friday. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 5 points, 10,543. NASDAQ Composite Index up 5 points to 2076. New York Stock Exchange Composite closed out 20 points to 7185. Please welcome officially now to the Imus in the Morning program our old friend, Dr. Phil. Good morning, Dr. Phil.
Man, every year at this time, you fly all the way to the other side of the country to do basically the good work that you do with the kids out there on the ranch. And but what you're essentially doing is abandoning your program because you leave behind two hot, steaming piles of dysfunction, Bernard and Charles. I mean, there's so much going on wrong with these two, I don't even know where to start. Bernie, you need to look in the mirror, as frightening a prospect as that may be, and embrace this concept. I am going to hell. First of all, how's the head shaving working out for you? Is the fact that the only thing keeping you from being a full-on skinhead at this point is you just don't have the swastika tattoo on the forehead? The things that you say, the hurtful, hateful, tasteless, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic things are really a cry for help. And you need to ask yourself this question. What gay African-American Jew hurt you when you were younger? Did Sammy Davis Jr. touch you inappropriately at some point? My life law number 9 states that there is power in forgiveness. Open your eyes to what this anger is doing to you. Take your power back from those who have hurt you. Go into your memory, look that black homosexual Hebrew in the eye, his good eye, and say, no, Candyman, I don't like what you're doing. Because only then can you be set free from the resentment that drives that man in the studio with you who puts that FedEx envelope on his head. What the hell is he thinking when he's sticking that FedEx envelope on his head? Hey, I got a good idea. Let me overnight what's left of my brain somewhere, because I sure ain't going to be using them for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Why not just stick a Klan hood over that melon? Because that's what it looks like, and that's what it sounds like. Which doesn't belong and why? A, Adolf Hitler. B, James Earl Ray. C, Bernard McGurk. You need to make C the answer to that question. You don't belong. Because inside that twisted, sick, hateful, hurtful exterior is little Bernie sitting on the curb crying because the bad man hurt him, and now he wants to hurt everyone back. Although all he really wants is just a hug. Just not from a pedophile. That's what you need to do.
I still need to put a feed bag around my neck to eat breakfast.
Oh, is that where you want to go now? Is that your retort, your witty retort? Little fat joke there?
That's it, you fat homo.
I'm a fat homo. Let me tell you something. You're like a monkey looking at a curling iron, all right?
Oh, come on. It hurts me to laugh.
Every year is a new challenge, and that brings out the best in everyone in the company.
History, man. Well, it's really neat. I went to some Mexican joint there.
Yeah?
Some Fonda del Sol, or what the hell it's called, some place or something.
Yeah.
It's really a nice town. It's really great. Little Starbucks there, and they have little antique shops.
Very quaint.
You ever been there, Bernie?
I don't think so.
Oh, man, it's...
You do realize there is a whole world out there besides Central Park West and Whiteport, wherever the hell it is you live up there, Connecticut, and New Mexico. You do realize there are towns and villages and cities. I mean, you just discovered London, for crying out loud. Oh, I didn't even know and they have this weird accent over there. They talk English, but they sound funny.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is going on in that mind of yours?
Well,
you're sitting out there in that, looks like the steakhouse from hell, going, oh, Nyack, New York, it's a nice town over there. Yeah, I'm sure the people in Nyack real happy that you've bestowed upon them your respect for their home place.
Well, it's a cute little village. It really is. I was sort of surprised.
Have one of your real-life experiences there at the Mexican restaurant, did you? Hey, Jose, more salsa over here.
Well, the salsa wasn't good as Imus ran salsa, but that's fine.
I'm sure you pointed that out, too, didn't you?
No, I did not. No, I didn't, because I was sick then, actually.
Oh, man.
So, I was after the wedding. That was after the wedding. So maybe I didn't get sick at the reception. I guess I was already sick. No, it was nice. I'm glad they got married. They're both working out here this summer, and I'm happy about that. So, Donnie and Samantha, they met here, and they got married here.
Yeah.
And now we have, well, I can't talk about the other one, but
something else. A springboard for love.
Yeah, anyway. And tonight, minutes after they are here on the Imus in the Morning programs.
It's a freaking love boat out there. And you're Gavin McLeod.
You know, relationships built on stress are doomed. You realize that, don't you? Here are these two disparate people out there looking for any kind of humanity to cling to in that hellhole that you got working out there. And so they're forming these unnatural unions. These two people wouldn't even spit on each other. They passed each other on the street here in Nyack. But out there, it's, another human being. A real human being. And this false love happens. I'll give it about 6 months.
Well, no, I think they'll be fine. So, well, it's actually good it's good vibes for these kids because they get to see people who are in love and getting along and
who are having sex on your ranch when kids are hanging around. They're supposed to be out there on the trail ride, and they're bumping uglies at the bunkhouse.
Well, they're not doing it in front of the children. It's 10 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning program. He's one of my favorite reporters, works for NBC News, and he's in Baghdad this morning. Jim Maceda. Hi, Jim.
Hi there, Don. I don't think I've ever told you this, but it's never easy over here in Baghdad. But personally, I call in early just to get the uplift, just to get the comic vibe, to get me through the day.
Well, good.
You guys,
So,
you guys are something.
How long have you been back in Baghdad?
Just looking at the agenda, 4 days. It feels already more like 4 weeks. It's my friend and colleague, Mr. Engel, has had to switch over there, shift gears, and move over to Saudi Arabia when the king looked like he was dying. Now he's doing better.
Right.
I think Richard's going to continue on to better climes for a couple of weeks, a well-deserved vacation. Well, we haven't spoken since that young upstart, Mr. Gregory, tried to commandeer your show. But, I hope you're doing better.
Well, yes. Anyway, this morning or this afternoon in Baghdad, we have the United States-Iraqi effort here to try to secure Baghdad with 40,000 troops. How's that working out?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of talk about Operation Lightning. What we're seeing so far is more like Operation Sizzler. It's just not yet happening. We're told every day that it's going to happen soon. I'm sure the insurgents are listening very closely as well. If there are any serious ones that there were any around, they've probably moved on. You do have a sense of more checkpoints, of more Iraqi army and police in the streets, but it seems to me that U.S. forces are really still doing the heavy lifting. I don't know if you caught the nightly piece last night, but we were out yesterday for about
Jim,
3 or 4 hours.
Jim, I'll tell you why I didn't catch it. Because DirecTV, which can't suck any more than anything on the planet sucks, decided I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, 50 miles from any town, with no ability to get cable. You couldn't put an aerial up and get anything. DirecTV decided to shut off NBC, ABC, and Fox. So I can't watch Shep, I can't watch Williams, and I can't watch George Stephanopoulos. So, no, Jim, I didn't see it, thanks to DirecTV. But go ahead.
But let me bring you up to date then.
Did I mention how they suck, by the way?
I'm not touching that.
Okay.
We were on a patrol with a group of U.S. soldiers from the 3rd Infantry Division, 3 or 4 hours with Alpha Company. Their mission is to go into Dora, which is the southern suburb. This is the belly of the beast, surrounded by people who hate them. This is a hotbed of insurgency. They do this every day on a routine basis, looking to attract fire, looking to attract IEDs, and then bring in the EOD folks, the disposal people, to take them out. They did 2 raids, made 2 arrests, all of this happening in the course of 3 hours. And I saw one Iraqi interpreter. There were no Iraqi commando police with them, no Iraqi troops. And this, it would strike most, I would think, this is exactly the kind of place where Iraqis should have been operating, because this is really where it would make a difference. You do see Iraqis manning checkpoints, as I said, but Operation Lightning I don't think it's happened yet.
And, of course, then we have the vice president telling Larry, my personal friend, the vice president, I'd like to point out, who's obviously either been drinking or is delusional, is on Larry King telling him that the violence is winding down in Iraq. Where is he getting his reports?
Well, I don't know. The violence is not winding down. The violence, however you measure violence, if you just take the number of car bombs, the number of dead, you can take the statistics, look at the charts, everything is up. 5 or 6 times more Iraqis have died in car bombs, roadside bombs, ambushes, and drive-by shootings in the month of May than in the month of April. What is the difference? In the month of May, there was an elected government trying to get its feet off the ground, and in April, there wasn't yet one. So, no, the violence has increased. There's no Prime Minister Al-Jafari knows that the 3rd hot summer is approaching. It's about 115 degrees outside, and a lot of people still don't have enough electricity and water to get through the day. So he had a press conference today saying that that there would be increased efforts to try to improve these services, but the insurgents are smart, and every day they are mortaring, shelling power plants and dams to keep the country on its knees. So no, the violence is still as high as ever. I haven't been here for about 3 months, and I don't see a great change at all. The insurgency has gotten uglier. The targets now are more civilians. It's more haphazard. It's soft targets. Before, I can remember reporting a lot on Iraqi police and army and U.S. forces being hit. That's still happening, of course, but increasingly you're seeing mosques going up, vegetable markets, very haphazard, simply to scare people and to keep people down.
Maybe somebody should explain to Porkchop Butt, my friend the vice president, that they can't even secure the 10-mile road from the Baghdad airport to Baghdad.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm sure others have told you. That's for us coming in and out of Baghdad. It's the scariest part of the rotation, just getting from that airport here into central Baghdad, because there just aren't any front lines, or I guess I should say everything's a front line. And there are more U.S. forces along that road, but it doesn't matter. It can come from anywhere.
All right, man. Well, take care of yourself. Jim Maceda, NBC News in Baghdad. It is 16 minutes after the hour. I don't know who's going to be on, but somebody. Don't worry about it. I'm not.
Let the good times roll. Let them knock you around. Let the good times roll. Let them make you a clown. Let them leave you up in the air. Let them brush you rock and roll. Let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Imus in the morning.
Hey, let me tell you something here. You know, nothing captures life's colors like the new technology of Panasonic's high-definition. Interesting thoughts on Bernard earlier this morning, which we may revisit here coming up in the next half hour or so, and some thoughts on Charles. I thought he was perhaps more vitriolic in his assessment of poor Bernard.
I think he was, yeah.
And he was of you, but...
There's a lot more work that needs to be done there.
Well, it could be. The priest at Tim and Tina's wedding, Father Joe, told me, was a lovely guy, by the way. Apparently they don't have a treadmill there at the parish, but...
What does that mean?
Well, just nothing. But he told me he liked Cardinal O'Connor better than he liked Cardinal Egan. And I didn't say anything. I just said,
Just let it go.
Yeah.
How do you let that go?
Well, because I often do that. I often just...
It's easier.
I often don't care.
No, it's not that I didn't care. He's a very nice guy, by the way. And, not one of the ones glomming on other kids.
All right, that's... Every time you talk about a priest, every time you talk about a teacher, do you say it's not one of the ones glomming onto a kid? You don't say that.
Well, no, because no.
Even though the incidents of that occurring are more likely or higher than those of...
Why aren't we defensive?
But I mean, every single time. Come on, give it a rest.
Okay, it's time for third helping, and here he is with Sports Morning, Chris.
Do you think that that's the way to go? That I actually couldn't get something done out there if I needed to, as far as taking you out of the picture?
Well, I just sort of doubt it with who's sitting next to you that anybody, any place is going to do anything to me. But go right ahead. Just take your best shot, bitch.
You tell him, my man. I hope you wrote Tim a pretty good check, because I'm pretty sure I could write him a pretty nice one to take care of some things too.
What's going on in sports, big guy?
Well, basketball last night. The Suns knocked off the San Antonio Spurs to stay alive, 111 to 106. It's now 3-1 in favor of San Antonio.
Not a sweep, as somebody predicted on this program.
Correct.
Yeah.
Same thing in the East Coast as well. Eastern Conference as well.
All right.
When are you going to get over the fact that I do not know what I'm talking about?
Oh, well, I think it's a step in the right direction that you've at least admitted that, but aren't you a sports talk show host?
And you make these proclamations with such certitude.
Exactly.
Oh, well, it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah,
You're telling that. I'm going to take that one to the bag.
Yeah.
I'll give you something else that's a certitude. I'm an idiot. I'm a freaking idiot.
Well, please continue.
Thanks for the qualifier.
Yeah.
The Cardinals yesterday in baseball beat the Rockies 5-4 in Denver. Thanks to an Albert Pujols 3-run homer in the 7th, Pujols acknowledges that the ball probably does carry a little bit better in the hitter-friendly Coors Field.
You're going to carry a little bit more than what you look at in the swing when you finish. So, and that's what happened.
So that's what happened.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Here's another opportunity to make fun of a Hispanic ball player. Oh, that's just great.
That's not what happened.
Okay. Go ahead.
And finally, over the weekend, talk about being wrong. Yankees, Red Sox, you again on the wrong end of the stick. Red Sox took 2 out of 3, including a 17-1 beating on Saturday afternoon.
The Boston barrage continues. Oh, are they beating up the Yanks? Whoa!
Oh. I must have just loved the fact. On Saturday afternoon, I was thinking of you as Wyatt and Deirdre are strutting around the house, and you got to sit there and take it like a little punk.
We were at the Mexican joint in Nyack.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, it worked out fine. That's a nice little town.
Hey, can you put the Yankee game up on the TV there?
Time now for Tracy Burgess and Scum. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. Paris and Paris are engaged. A spokesperson for socialite Paris Hilton tells People magazine that the Simple Life TV star is engaged to marry her boyfriend of 5 months, and he's also named Paris, but he is a guy. It's Paris Latsis.
Two filthy rich morons named Paris who couldn't pick out France on a map.
I am stupefied.
The 24-year-old Hilton hotel heiress accepted the proposal from the 27-year-old Greek shipping heir on Wednesday. No date has been set for the wedding. It'll be the first marriage for both.
Make it easier for her. She only has to memorize one name.
As soon as
Is that what's going on there? Hey, honey, Paris. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Maybe I could get my line in here sometime this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's a delay here, man.
They'll get married as soon as the infections clear up.
Oh, yeah, that was worth waiting for.
As soon as the store on the Eiffel Tower disappears.
Let me tell you about my shower curtain.
27 minutes after the hour here on the Imus the Morning program. Please welcome now to the Imus the Morning program our old friend, Bo Dietl, the author of the best-selling business book, Business Lunchitations, which, incidentally, here's a great idea for Father's Day. You never can. Boy, God, you look great this morning, Bo.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with books for Dad for Father's Day, and a couple of good ones. I really do love Big Russ and Me. I know we've sold it to death, but it really is a great book and a great story of a relationship between Tim and his dad, but it speaks to relationships with lots of folks, and Tim's, incidentally, going to grind another book out of this bad boy because he's received thousands of letters literally from people all over the country. Big Recipe and Business Lunchitations, which is an enormously entertaining business book full of common sense about how you can muscle your way to the top in the corporate world by our friend Bo Dietl and Bob Bly. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, Robert Bly.
Anyway, Bo's appearance is sponsored by our friends at NetJets, 1-877-NetJets. You'll need to get hooked up with them. Anyway, how are you this morning, Bo?
I feel good, and I'm very honored. You know, yesterday was Memorial Day, and today I'm driving from here to Philadelphia to honor those 2 police officers that were killed in Vietnam back in 1968-69, Officer James Klein and Officer Francis Severs, who one won the Silver Star and the other one won the Distinguished Service Cross. They were never honored by the Philadelphia Police Department. They were cops that left the Philadelphia Police Department, went on to fight in action in Vietnam, and today we're going to lay a plaque down with their families to honor them for giving their lives up for America over in Vietnam, and they're still brother officers, and I'm very proud and honored that they asked me to go to Philadelphia today to be part of the ceremony. Jimmy Binns is heading it up, the boxing promoter fella, and I'm really, really happy, and I'm very honored that these officers still recognize that I used to be a policeman and a detective many years ago.
All right. That's a good thing for you to do.
You know, it just gets me a little upset. They got a councilman here, a guy named Charles.
Bo.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me do some spots here, and then we'll get to whatever it is you're talked off about today.
Okay.
Which I'm sure it's a number of things, right, Charles?
Gotta be.
Are you privy to anything that these...
No, I am not.
Okay, so we'll all wait with bated breath here. Tomorrow, Cowboy Troy will be here. I played chicken with the train. Yeah.
Hey, Regis Hall. in about 17. Strong, playing my favorite song. And I could tell it would be long, the years with me, yeah, me. And I could tell it would be long, the years with me, yeah, me. Singing, I love rock and roll. Put up time in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. Roll time and dance, baby. Imus in the morning.
The Lincoln, the Imus of the morning forecast. Partly cloudy, maybe a late day shower. High in the mid-70s. 63 and partly cloudy in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
14 minutes till the hour here on the Imus in the morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. I have my Kinky Friedman for Governor bumper stickers, Charles. Excellent. It doesn't say Texas on them, so if I put them on my Ford truck out here in New Mexico, I don't know how that... I don't want people to think I'm campaigning against Bill Richardson. Right. So, maybe it's something the Kingston should have thought of. Probably
Hey, Don?
Yes, sir.
I have some upgraded information on Viagra also for you. I checked with the doctors. Check it out. This is for your listeners out there and for
Well,
yourself.
you're the one who takes it like
for
M&M's.
yourself. For yourself. The only time that it has any affectation is diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. Correct. If you have any of those above, then you have to really be careful with the Viagra so you can keep taking it, Don. You don't have that problem.
13 minutes now till the hour. Tracy Burgess in the studio, and Tracy immersed in a world of scum, both personally and professionally.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but we have...
Have you and Bernard been involved in any more triathlons, or what's it all about?
Bernard and I are not. We did the last half marathon, and we probably will do the Town of Hempstead triathlon coming up in September.
Of course, Bernard actually beat you in the last one, didn't he?
He beat me in the half marathon. I beat him in the triathlon.
All right, okay. What's going on in the world of scum briefly here?
A breaking story, Christian Slater, who's an actor appearing on Broadway in The Glass Menagerie, arrested in Manhattan this morning at 10 minutes till 2. Yep. He
wasn't swiping the books from the library.
He was accused of touching a woman's buttocks near 93rd Street and 3rd Avenue on the Upper East Side.
Oh, man.
That's it?
Well, she flagged down police to report the incident. I don't know if she was proud of it or not, but...
You still made it to work on time, Tracy?
12 minutes till the hour. On that note, please welcome once again to the Imus in the morning program, Dr. Phil. Good morning, Dr. Phil.
Imus, every year at this time, you fly all the way to the other side of the country. And I know it's basically to do that good work you do with the kids out there on the ranch, but what you're essentially doing is abandoning your program because you leave behind two hot, steaming piles of dysfunction, Bernard and Charles. I mean, there is so much wrong going on with these two, I don't even know where to start. Well, let me go alphabetically. Bernie, you need to look in the mirror, as frightening a prospect as that might be, and embrace this concept. I am going to hell. First of all, how's a head shaving working out for you? Is the fact that the only thing keeping you from being a full-on skinhead at this point is you just don't have the swastika tattoo on the forehead? The things that you say, the hateful, hurtful, tasteless, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic things are really a cry for help. And you need to ask yourself this question. What gay African-American Jew hurt you when you were younger? Did Sammy Davis Jr. touch you inappropriately at some point? My life law number 9 states there is power in forgiveness. Open your eyes to what this anger is doing to you. Take your power back from those who have hurt you. Go into your memory. Look that black homosexual Hebrew in the eye, his good eye, and say, no, Candyman, I don't like what you're doing. Because only then can you be set free from the resentment that drives that man in the studio with you who puts that FedEx envelope on his head. What the hell is he thinking when he's sticking that FedEx envelope on his head? Hey, I got a good idea. Let me overnight what's left of my brain somewhere, because I sure ain't going to be using them for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Why not just stick a Klan hood over that melon, because that's what it looks like and that's what it sounds like. Which doesn't belong and why? A, Adolf Hitler. B, James Earl Ray. C, Bernard McGurk. You need to make C the answer to that question. You don't belong, because inside that twisted, sick, hateful, hurtful exterior is poor little Bernie,
sitting on the curb crying because the bad man hurt him, and now he wants to hurt everyone back. Although all he really wants is a hug. Just not from a pedophile.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phil.
Used to make our
Philadelphia. Why are you going down again, Bo?
We're going down there to honor 2 Philadelphia police department cops that were killed in Vietnam. There was about 270 Philadelphia cops being killed in the line of duty, and these 2 are going to be put on the rolls as far as killed in the line of duty, but they were killed over Vietnam serving our country, and really honored about it. You know, we're talking about the hardness factor, not to jump off that serious thing, but Mike the Russian's a perfect example, Don. Mike the Russian's 59 years old.
What does Mike the Russian do?
Mike the Russian's on 47th Street. He's a jeweler. He makes cufflinks and stuff. He's the guy, 59 years old. The guy was out of shape. All of a sudden, he read the hardness factor. Next thing happens, he's got 2 21-year-old Russian girls he's lived with. We used to call him 11-second Mike, right? It was over in 11 seconds, and he was over for a week. Now he's pounded Tate two of them at the same time.
Bo.
What?
Who determined it was 11 seconds?
So we timed him once in Miami about 6 years ago. Seriously, we timed him once in Miami 6 years ago, and it was over in 11 seconds, so we call him 11-second Mike. Now he got himself in health. He's 155 pounds. He's on a treadmill. He's taking the Omegas, and now he's got 2 21-year-olds.
Sure.
So there's some real reasonability to the hardness
have that, or Tracy.
With Tracy?
Well, that would be...
Well, that's why...
If you added the 2 21s together, that's about what you would come up with.
Well, that's why I got to tell you something. A guy like Bernie, you laugh at Bernie. He might have a bald head, but he keeps himself in shape. Sure. I guarantee if we bring the hardness meter in here, Bernie has to be off the edge.
Right.
He's over the top.
How do we get this guy in the program with you?
We're going to get him on. You want him on next Monday? I'll have him on next Monday.
Well, we haven't made a determination yet.
You got him. Whatever you want.
How do we get him to come on the program? Is that what you asked?
No. Appear on the program, you idiot. God. Who publishes his book, do you know?
Harper's. Harper.
Wow.
The guy, Harper or Harper? Yeah, Harper.
Harper, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Harper's, yeah.
Sounds like something I'm really going to enjoy.
Well, let me tell you something. Very serious, sportscaster. Let me be serious. If you were to follow this book, you will all of a sudden find something between your legs other than something that's lost.
You can get reacquainted.
You can get reacquainted with yourself. You know what? We all laugh about it. We all laugh about it.
Chris has been going over to the gym. I actually crossed paths with him over there to go.
Hey, Chris. Yeah. We all laugh about it, but wouldn't it be happy to wake up in the morning with something other than a donut and a coffee and something happening, some vibration in your loinitations?
How about something with a hole in it that moves in your bed?
I don't even know what to say.
There's got to be some better way we could describe this, isn't there, Charles?
I would think no question. But Bo makes a very good point.
Way of, and that would be
that the condition of the erection, the turgidity of the erection, is in fact an indicator of overall cardiovascular health.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles.
I can't even hear Chuck say turgidity of the erection. I can't listen to that.
Firmness, solidity, condition.
The flabbertation situation, right, Chuck?
Is, in fact, a legitimate indicator of overall cardiovascular health.
Hi, I'm Mr. Morning. This is WFAN in New York and Infinity Broadcasting radio station, part of the Viacom deal. We're on the radio around the country and on MSNBC. Time for some news now. And here with that is Chuck McCoy. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, I-Man. And in the headlines locally, a 9-year-old Brooklyn girl, 9 years old, facing manslaughter charges after allegedly stabbing to death her 11-year-old friend. Stabbed her with a steak knife, according to police, who say the incident was set off by an argument over a ball. Authorities say the victim, Queen Washington, was playing with the unidentified 11-year-old when they feuded over the toy. The younger girl reportedly went into the kitchen of the apartment, grabbed the knife, and plunged it into her playmate's chest and hit the heart. The victim's aunt, Taisha Lamont, says the stabbing was no accident.
I mean, she took it straight to the girl's heart. So she knew exactly what she was doing.
The victim was described as an outgoing student, an A student, about to graduate from 5th grade at PS 256, and as mentioned, the 9-year-old child now is charged with manslaughter. Members of the Base Realignment and Closure Commission will take their national tour to Connecticut today to meet with members of the United States Navy submarine base there. The facility has been one of those scheduled by the Pentagon for closure, a decision Connecticut officials have vowed they're going to fight every step of the way. And Governor Jody Rell says the Pentagon has been short on details regarding its long-term plans.
We don't have that complete documentation. All we have is basically a brief outline that says we'd like to move 4 subs to Kings Bay, Georgia.
She's doubtful that the base in the south, down in Georgia, would be able to accommodate or match the facilities currently available to the military.
Picture of Tim Russert. It looks exactly like Miss Piggy.
You know,
I mean, what's up with that?
we're not going to tolerate this from you, lady.
No.
Making remarks about people who I actually hold.
I love Tim Russert.
Well, then,
That's a
then
dreadful
don't
picture.
compare Tim to Miss Peggy. So
Look at the picture.
He's not a hairdo. He's a journalist. Yeah. He's not a glamour boy.
Well, that's
Get off my
obvious.
phone. 26 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Is Tracy still in the studio? She has just exited. The finals for the American Idol, we can find out who won tonight, right?
Apparently we did.
Yeah.
Voting's done.
Get it over with. Did anybody watch it last night? Did you watch it, Lou?
No.
Bernie?
Absolutely not.
Me either, of course.
I watched the contender final.
Oh, yeah, who won that? Did you watch that? I was going to watch that.
The Sergio Mora.
The Latin snake?
I think that's the guy. Is he the snake or is the other guy the snake? Peter Manfredo Jr.
Well, no, he was the snake. You're right. The tall, thin guy. Absolutely.
Yeah, he won. He won.
So the Latin snake won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell of a fight. They left it all in the ring, man. They left it all in the ring. They left it all in the ring.
Oh, you can't get better than 2 Mexicans beating the hell out of each other.
It was a fight. It was a brawl. It was awful. It was vicious. They left it all in the ring. That's where they left it.
The Latin snake down again.
I still can't take Stallone in that role, like he was an actual boxer. Are you kidding me?
You leave him alone. He's my new Hollywood friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He loves the man.
Really breaking it down like he's Ferdy Pacheco. Guy has no freaking clue.
Well,
Mr. Mora.
I guess the Latin snake won.
Yeah, he did.
Did he clearly win in your view?
Yeah, yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
But it was a hell of a fight. They left it all in the ring, man. They left it all in the ring.
Senator John Corzine, for his second appearance in the last 20 minutes, will be on next.
I see a little in the morning.
It's official. Spring is here, and so is the Mitsubishi Springtime Sales Event. The warm weather brings even hotter deals, like no-interest financing on every Mitsubishi car and SUV. Take the Galant, the car called refreshingly different and sporty.
Players, Piazza said I've been in more of these games than anybody. It never gets old for me. Cameron says I know I'm not supposed to say this, but you know what? These are different. They're different games. The Mets seem to look at it differently than the Yankees do, I guess, or at least publicly they have. So.
I think that's publicly, Eddie, because you can tell that the Yankees play the games differently. Just look at Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter can say all he wants about how he hates talking about it and how it's just another game. The guy hit .374 against the Mets. He clearly builds himself up for these situations.
No, Jeter kills the Mets.
Listen,